Hi, my name is Christy Pinuel. I am going to speak with you about fetal alcohol syndrome concerning an 8-year-old girl that is in the first grade. Jacey Anna is an 8-year-old first grade student attending Tiftarea Elementary School. Very little information is known about her biological mother. It is reported that her mother had a history of substance abuse and Jacey Anna was possibly exposed to alcohol in utero. Jacey Anna was placed with a foster to adopt family. She was adopted by the Wilsons when she was 2 years old. Jacey Anna was the Wilsons' first child and they were not certain when developmental milestones should be achieved. The Wilsons used a pediatrician that gave Jacey Anna a thorough checkup and stated nothing was wrong. The Wilsons understood that something was not quite right with Jacey Anna and were still concerned that she had special needs. They took Jacey Anna to a different pediatrician at the age of 5 and the pediatrician diagnosed her with fetal alcohol syndrome disorder. Jacey Anna showed behavioral and sensory problems equivalent with prenatal alcohol exposure. Jacey Anna had to repeat kindergarten. Jacey Anna is in the first grade now and the teacher reports that she has poor focus and attention, which becomes a hindrance while learning an activity. Jacey Anna loses her focus quickly. If Jacey Anna wants to participate in the activity, then she will give it all her attention. If not, she moves from activity to activity. She likes to visit with other students in the room and loves to hug all of them. Jacey Anna does not understand where her boundaries are and likes to get in the space of others. Jacey Anna loves pets and likes to tell everyone about her cats and dogs. Jacey Anna enters her classroom daily and acts as if she is coming to a new room. She must be reminded where items go and where her desk is located. Jacey Anna starts wandering around the classroom after she places her items in the correct cubicle. Jacey Anna will only sit for a short period of time during group. She can follow one-step commands or one-step directions. Giving Jacey Anna several steps at one time are difficult for her to remember the beginning of the assignment. Jacey Anna does not like to ask for help and does not finish assignments when given during class. Gross motor is a strength for Jacey Anna and she loves to swim. She has a hard time with fine motor and is uncoordinated when doing a task. She tries to grip a pencil, but it is not an appropriate grip and she tires out easily when writing. The frames of reference that go along with this case are sensory integration and behavioral modification. The sensory integration frame of reference is from the work of Aries. The sensory integration frame of reference focuses on sensory systems, which are auditory, visual, gustatory, interoceptive, tactile, vestibular, and proprioceptive. Numerous studies have described different types of sensory integrative patterns based on behavioral observation and assessment. The 5 sensory patterns are sensory modulation problems, sensory seeking behavior, sensory discrimination and perception problems, vestibular bilateral functional problems, and praxis problems. Jacey Anna presents with sensory problems such as grasping for writing and uses a lot of pressure when writing with pens or pencils. Jacey Anna has defined muscle weakness in the upper extremities, which causes her to tire out quickly. Jacey Anna needs to work on strengthening her fine motor skills and upper extremities. Jacey Anna shows sensory seeking behaviors. She loves to ride her motorized scooter and jump on the trampoline. Jacey Anna needs some sensory strategies to keep her on task. The behavioral modification frame of reference is from B.F. Skinner, which was his conditioning theory. Behavior modification attempts to modify or form behavior using a framework based on the interaction between stimuli and response. Operant conditioning takes its foundation on the proposition that the most effective way to learn about a person's behavior is to determine the motive behind the action and the consequences that follow it. Skinner maintained that three kinds of responses existed: neutral, punishing, and reinforcing. Neutral responses, as the name implies, were neither positive nor negative. Reinforcing responses were deemed positive, while punishing responses were negative. Jacey Anna's attention varies depending on what is happening or who is around. Jacey Anna likes to have eye contact with someone in charge. She responds well to positive feedback when performing a task. Jacey Anna works well when the lesson is structured in small amounts and has small groups to work with. In a classroom where students are expected to sit quietly and listen to a lesson, Jacey Anna is very distracted and speaks out in the class. Jacey Anna will disturb others in the class, so the attention is on her, and she requires more attention than one person can give.